And we are live. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to each and every one. Happy Friday to those in television land. Happy Friday to our silent supporters. Happy Friday to those in the chat. Happy Friday to those over on Facebook. Really appreciate each and every one who joins in from Friday to Friday to support us. So, welcome to Mystic Sensation Live with your host Byron and Anne Marie. And tonight's topic is JLP Corruption Blueprint. Before we go into the topic, I just want to say happy belated Emancipation Day to everyone in Jamaica. And also happy Independence Day coming up on the 6th. Today is Friday the 4th, so that will be Sunday. So I'm thinking celebrations will be Monday or Sunday evening. But happy Independence to everyone out there in Jamaica. And I just want to say something before I make Baron speak. We are 61 years independent, right? So in going forward in our celebrations, we need to remember the selfless sacrifices of our
heroes and heroines.
National heroes and heroines, right? Remember what they did to get us where we are today for our freedom. But in the same stead, we are here 61 years independent and we are still fighting for equal rights and justice. And we need to look into that when we go to the ballots for election. We are still fighting for equal rights and justice, and also, in a sense, for freedom, because with what is going on now, our freedom of speech and also freedom of movement has been threatened.
Speak up on it.
Right? So we need to look into what is happening because it's a different era, but basically a similar fight. Right? Because we say we are independent, but yet we are being oppressed by not colonizers, but by those brothers and sisters that we elect to represent us in our everyday happenings and to represent us in the best way possible. But of course, that is a callous failure, as we are seeing. And it cuts deeper than when the colonizers did it, because it hurts when you look and see that it is your own that is doing this to us. So I'm just encouraging us to keep in mind what independence really is. And when you go out there, make sure you stay safe in celebrating and look out for each other, be your brothers and sisters keepers. And remember that we need to see the signs of the times as to what is happening, because our democracy is under threat. And as I said, it's different era, but similar fight. But it's only with our brothers and sisters, not really the colonizers this time. So that is just food for thought. And I want to just welcome those who are in the chat. So welcome, Truck Life. Happy Friday. Arlene, happy Friday. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. AG Bonds, bless up and you stay safe out there on the road. He says he's driving. Again, God bless to you as well, AG. RJ, welcome. Happy Friday. Juba Bruce, happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining in. Patricia, welcome. Says blessings to you both. Blessings to you as well, Patricia. Thank you. And Michael, big up family. Big up to you. Arthur Phillips, good night. Same day.
All right.
welcome. Happy Friday. Patricia says real talk. And straight up is saying good night. Mystic, hope Jamaica is no story.
Straight up, bless up. Blessings always.
Okay, welcome. Happy Friday. And Wayne said, good evening, Mr. and Mistress Sensation. Good evening, Wayne. Thank you so much for joining.
Blessings, that is
AC family, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining and really appreciate each and every one. And guys, remember when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show some support by subscribing. And also the WhatsApp number is streaming across the screen. Anyone who wants to join in and, join in the conversation, give your input or your opinions. And also the link is pinned. So if you want to join us on screen, you are welcome to. You don't have to turn on your camera. And we value everybody's input and everybody's opinion, because we sometimes have to agree to disagree. Okay. All right. So Baron, I am going to turn over to you one sec. Ricardo Taylor, welcome. Saying good night, Mr. Baron. How are you, sir?
Blessings, Ricardo.
But I don't know, but I have this to say. We Jamaican people don't know how we are going to stop this corruption in the country by Andrew Holness. Okay, Ricardo.
All right.
Welcome. Happy Friday. Okay, Baron, I'm going to turn over to you. And as usual, I'm going to do some housekeeping.
Okay. Thank you, honey, for that precursor there. Really appreciate that. Wonderful job done. I want to say, once again, I am so thankful and grateful for, all, my subscribers passing through as usual on a Friday. And of course, we are going to deal with the issues. But I want to speak to, all Jamaicans, locally and in the diaspora, as it relates to, certain events that have been unfolding. And we have seen, of course, two law-abiding citizens, two professional persons that this government, right, through the means of political tactics and trying to assassinate the characters politically, and also politically assassinate their career. In reference, I am speaking to Isaac Buchanan. In reference, I am speaking to Rowan James. And I am using this platform, right, to say to all of us, as it relates to, we must participate, and I'm asking for all of us to participate as it relates to sign that petition where Isaac Buchanan is concerned. Isaac Buchanan, a man of good standing, a man who had taken up the struggles of us Jamaicans, persons who are vulnerable but want justice. Isaac Buchanan take on the fight. Now, of course, I am not going to be here like I am justifying as it relates to his quotation of Vybz Kartel poetic lyrical content, right? So I'm not trying to justify that. However, he had apologized, and I do believe that his apology is genuine. We all made mistakes. We all make mistakes. We are human beings, right? But we have seen, in comparison to others who are pursuing him, the political Draculas who are pursuing him, right, have done far worse as it relates to the level of disrespect in the House of Parliament. In the House of Parliament, in comparison to Isaac Buchanan, right, make reference on a talk show. And so it tells us Jamaica as it relates to the level of wish hunting that this government, right, decided to pursue to go against someone simply because the person pushes against the system and try to correct the behavior of a judiciary system when persons are wrongly charged and wrongly prosecuted. There you see I have on the thumbnail as it relates to this DPP, who had a 5% rate as it relates to high-profile cases. In comparison to when the judiciary going against an ordinary person, a person who poor and sometimes they can't even afford a lawyer. The DPP has a high prosecutorial rate against those people, roughly about 62 to 70% based on my studies as it relates to conviction, right? So then when it comes to the poor, right, the common man, it appears as if the justice system works. But when it comes to the elite, when it comes to the politicians, it appears as if the justice system numbs. And as you can see, as it relates to the stat, 5% prosecutorial rate as it relates to high-profile cases involving elites of society and members of parliament. But we are going to get there tonight, right? And we'll be find out definitely if is it a quid pro quo, right? I will do something for you and you do something for me. So that's what quid pro quo means. We will go through when we are going to go through the cases where the DPP concerned as it relates to high-profile cases. So let me put on my pustakos and then I get into the matter of things. Before I get into Isaac Buchanan, a defender of the poor and vulnerable, a defender of the poor and vulnerable. I am going to speak about Rowan James. Again, someone who pushes against an undue government. So we have seen Rowan James defending his fellow workers, right? Pay what due to them. And as a result, we have a commissioner of police who have been compromised by the vicious political system. And so then what I want to show to people and what I want to prove tonight, that in the pursuit of damaging Rowan James' character, it was just not only that he had spoken about the benefits that need to be paid out to the police officers, that owed to them, and defending that as his responsibility, his task, asked him to do, right? He's the person in that seat who has every right to speak and defend these issues. it is his responsibility. So it is not that he had spoken out of turn, right? But he pushes against Andrew Holness's government. But I am going to show to all of us that that was not the only reason why they pursue Rowan James, right? The government ulterior motive. And when Rowan James, because the issue was him speaking about and addressing, right, the pay that's supposed to be given to the police officers. That was only something that triggered previous beef. But I'm going to expose the real issue that the government is pursuing Rowan James for. Rowan James has been pursued by Andrew Holness's government and the Commissioner of Police because he had go against the government and he made the government look as if, well, as a matter of fact, he exposed the government as it relates to the series of lies that the government telling the Jamaican people. Rowan James pushed back Andrew Holness's government, and from that time, 11 months ago, so it is not recent, and I'm going to play the clip to expose why they go at him, why they went at him. And so then, this is what you call a dictatorship, a total censorship. So it is not only the Integrity Commission being muzzled. It seems like this government sets out shaping the way for a dictatorial government. Now, without any further ado, Diamond said I stand.
Sorry.
Diamond said I stand with Isaac Buchanan. Thank you, Diamond. This, what they are doing is political. Definitely, Diamond. Not fair facts. There is nothing in any law, policy, and procedures hold back up to freedom of speech. And Diamond, we want to discuss Isaac and in a very meaningful way, right? And that's why I am doing the Rowan James first, just to show the background of this government. You understand this dictatorship. So we are going to get to Isaac's situation.
Arthur.
And I want Arthur, Byron, do you remember Patria Rowe? He was also vocal about the treatment of the police and they maligned him as well. Exactly. So I'm showing people the evidence of this Andrew Holness-led government. And people, I want to remind you what Andrew Holness said when he was in opposition. He said that Jamaican people must speak out against the government if the government is not performing. He also, in extension, says that if we, the people, sit and we observe that the government, right, is doing anything wrong, the people are to speak out. Now, let us fast forward to Andrew Holness-led government. The first thing that he had done is to muzzle the Integrity Commission and muzzling other persons. Apparently, this Andrew Holness-led government is shaping to be a dictatorship. So we are seeing that our democracy is definitely online. We have seen where this government even calls the judiciary to fail in their responsibilities failed in their mission statement. This government sweetened the judiciary with 200% raise. And so then it seems and appears as if the judiciary is swinging parallel with Andrew Holness. When we look into a first world country like the United States of America, we have seen Donald Trump who pushes against a system. But what the system does, the system says, no, you are wrong, Mr. Trump. We stand for justice. You will be charged, and if found guilty, Mr. Ex-President, you will be prosecuted. But in a third world country, we are seeing that even when the Integrity Commission send the reports, the DPP tend to look the other side. But let me finish with Rowan and get into the evidence. And I identify what causes the real root problem. Without any hesitation, people, I want you to look and see that Rowan, right, James, prior to him speaking at the funeral, had beef with the government. They hunt him over 11 months ago. And to show how unfair it is, before I even play that clip, I'm going to show you something. And I want to put Paula Llewellyn, I want to ask Paula Llewellyn something. You have now been, we have seen now the system as it relates to the Commissioner of Police, very crafty person, right? And this person should resign. This Commissioner of Police, right, should immediately resign his post. But you're not going to have that because he's in the buddy club with the Prime Minister. So you're not going to have that. A lot of them in the buddy club with the Prime Minister. And so then let me ask a question. You are now digging up for something from 2008 and 2012 to brought forward into a case or a situation that is not relevant. So then that's why I want to show the people of Jamaica, the people in the diaspora, that what Rowan James said at the funeral wasn't about that alone. But that compounded the situation. And so then let me ask that if you, the Commissioner of Police, because you are compromised, Mystic Sensation is telling you that you are compromised. And you are no good for the force. You are no good for the Jamaican citizen. You're a compromised person. You're a political despot. You're a political operative for Andrew Holness. So let me say that because you're carrying out Andrew Holness' deed. And I'm going to play the clip and show the people.
But look at the hypocrisy of look at the hypocrisy because when Andrew did what he did with
that's where I'm going.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So look at the hypocrisy. In 2008, you know, Commissioner of Police, you brought up a case from 2008 and 2012 against Rowan James. So now let me remind you, Mr. Commissioner of Police, Andrew Holness in 2008, between the period 2006 to 2009, was investigated for illegal contracts awarding to Gavin. The IC investigated and found evidence, handed over to the corruption prosecutor. So it is not that the corruption prosecutor did not find that there was no charges that really justify the Integrity Commission investigation. The Integrity Commission investigation was justified by the criminal prosecutor but the criminal prosecutor failed to charge Andrew Holness because of the length of time and the complexity. The length of time and the complexity has she spoken. And so then she's not going to prosecute. She's not going to charge. She's not going to proceed any further. So then, what is good for the goose should be good for the gander.
Amen.
So then, Mr. Commissioner of Police, don't you see that whatever you have from 2008 and 2012, it should be the walk parallel with Andrew Holness. The length of time and the complexity that because you withdraw in terms of not going forward, then why now? These men, Rowan James and Isaac Buchanan, pushes against a system of injustice. Without any further ado, I am going to play the real reason for your aggression against him and Andrew Holness' aggression against him, because he spoke that your strategies are failed, are a failure. And that is why you have him up. That is why you guys pursue him like this, because he exposed you. So without any further ado, let us play that clip and show the public.
Okay, welcome again, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for everyone who's joining. Really appreciate each and every one. Let me just bring up.
So my people, stay with me. Let us dig for the evidence and dig for the truth and show them up how evil they are and corrupted to the core.
Which one is this one?
Expose shocking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why
which we believe that it was shameful. In light of the predicament that we are faced with, even police officers don't have the basic commodity, such as even stationery, to appreciate the public's report. And for us to be going through all of this at this time, and people are making it appear as if all is well, it is not well.
Have you...
My colleague who are being underpaid, having to pay $1,000 to prepare a case file, knowing that if they don't prepare that case file, our commissioner of police, with the policies, will be able to bring him to a disciplinary proceeding hearing to ensure that he's brought to books for failing to prepare and to submit a case file of a citizen's complaint, which the state have a responsibility to provide the resources. And that basic commodity is not being provided. Several stations are out of stationery. Sub-officers having to provide those resources. And people behaving as if we are mendicants in this country. It is time they understand that law enforcement in this country means something for the citizens. We are the only vanguards between lawlessness and the law-abiding citizens of this country. Persons must be held accountable. Accountability is first and foremost and paramount.
Let me ask you, Corporal James. You also took a swipe at the SOEs. Is it
and I'm saying, Sanjay, proximity policing has proven to be a success more than the SOEs. And I make no apology.
So is it that you're suggesting that your rank and file members are not in support of the state of public emergency?
I will say again, Sanjay, proximity policing has reaped more results than SOEs.
So you're not in support of the SOE. I want to be very clear. I don't want to misinterpret
proximity
what you're
policing
saying.
has reaped more success than SOEs.
So again, your rank and file members They are
We
not in
support
support of the
proximity
SOE.
policing, Andre.
Mhm. Okay, I think you
It affords us the knowledge to engage the citizenry of this country and to know what is happening in the species. The SOE does not provide for that to happen. And I see it without any fear of contradiction.
So your police officers are not happy, Corporal James. That's what
They
you're
are
telling
indeed
me?
not happy. Because even when SOEs are called, we are out there without the basic necessities.
Oh.
So
And
when
what,
these things are happening, there is absolutely nothing in logistics that is put in place so that the men and women who are out there giving.
Hey, Melissa's here.
How do you know? The lights.
Sorry I'm late.
Live life to its fullest in the new Kia Seltos. Kia, movement that inspires.
Can ultimately have even Abolition House to relieve themselves. They have to be going to people's premises.
what are you saying? But the government indicated that they have provided extra.
That's a lie, Sanjay.
So you hold on. So you don't get the extra money that
Sanjay, that's a lie.
The portable toilets that they mentioned, the meals that they mentioned. You're not getting any of that, Corporal James?
Even the tents that are supposed to be erected, some places that our colleagues are placed, even to operate from in darkness, it is a detriment to them. It is because criminal elements in this country still have a little regard for law enforcement.
So looking generally then at the matter of the SOEs and how it's going about, you don't think that you can reap any success from it?
Sanjay, again, what it does is to place the rank and file membership under undue stress when you overcrowd the lockups and still want to hold us responsible. Do I need to go further?
Oh yes, I would love for you to go further, sir.
Jamaica needs to understand that if you have 300 criminal elements, why can't we go spear fishing instead of net fishing?
So in a sense then, the proposal, for example, for the pre-charge detention, I don't know if you're able to review that proposal put forward.
I've not been able to do that, Sanjay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So I won't press you on that one. But in a sense then, the spearfishing approach would be better. But what about the suggestion that, look, the SOEs, it is saving lives because the people want to see the police on the ground, more boots on the ground, and they feel safe when you have the SOE in place. That's a statement put forward.
When you have police static and then gunmen down the other corner, you can't move from where you are? That spells sense to you? Does that spell sense?
Get that. Repeat that.
When you're at point A and gunman is just at point B committing atrocities and you cannot move to go and to respond to the citizen need, does that spell sense when you are lacking in the amount of resources in the first instance?
Mm-hmm. No.
I want for you to answer that.
No, I'm listening to you, Corporal James. I'm not in the position. I can't really answer that one at all. But
you see, the thing about it, Sanjay, if the Police Federation is being listened to and our recommendations are being taken seriously on board, we don't have to be at cross purposes.
So
but it is
in essence,
critical to note that I don't believe that our government, our employer, and our elected representatives are serious to take on board the well-being and welfare of the men and women who make the ultimate sacrifice so that we can effectively serve the citizens of this country.
But the commissioner and the high command, they are the ones who advise the government of the need for the SOEs. Is it that you have met with the commissioner to indicate to him that look, these SOEs, the way you're going about doing it is not effective. Have you done that?
Sanjay, we are tired to complain.
So who's
And that
advising
is
the
why
commissioner?
I've taken an approach that I stop complaining, because I know that the citizens of Jamaica has the ultimate say.
But Corporal
And
James, who
stop complaining
Mhm.
and start to communicate with our key stakeholders, which is the citizens of Jamaica.
But who is speaking to the High Command? Because I'm assuming that the High Command would take the information from those on the ground. Who then is advising the High
Sanjay,
Command, who then advises the
My
government?
central committee, we met with the commissioner on numerous occasions, and we have been very clear on that. We
And you
met
have
with the
told him
minister,
that
we expressed to the minister our challenges and what it is that we, you see, the Federation knows that we are futuristic and forward thinking. We have a short term, a medium term, and a long term vision. And if only we are taken seriously as a welfare body who our membership communicates with and continues to provide critical information, then we can move speedily to resolve many of the issues that confront us as a country. But when you have too much persons giving instructions.
Okay. All right. So, my gentle folks, let me say this to you. All right. That okay. All right. Miss Claire. All right.
All right, continue talking.
So, when you have the police chairman exposing the weaknesses, right, of the commissioner of police, because they came out and they promised, tell lies, right?
Of popular diabetes
And
drugs
so
that are also
that
used.
their lies,
Sorry.
their lies were exposed. And to the fact that their lies were exposed, from then they pursued Rowan James. And so then they started now to align Rowan James to be a political member, a supporter of the People's National Party. This is the viciousness. This is the viciousness for Andrew Holness led government. What they need to do is to accept the fact and fix the system. And it goes to show you, just like how they are promising a lot of projects, how they are going to do this, they're going to fix so much roads and all of that. All of that is just campaign promising, right? The clerks work the previous time, so he's coming now to do all those promises, and Rowan James exposing the lies. So they now want to politicize him and claiming now that he is a PNP supporter. This is how vicious and cruel this government is. Now, likewise in similarity, right? Let us speak about Aista Buchanan. We all know that Isaac, an extremely brilliant mind, right, that take on the system, challenge and expose the system as it relates to the level of wrongdoing, the level of judiciary missteps. And so then, of course, they don't like that, right? Because they have been exposed. Now, when you look at what you have, the political Draculas pursuing Isaac for, and in comparison to what they have done, I'm going to hit some nails. Very serious. Isaac Buchanan has never been accused of being a pedophile. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Isaac Buchanan has never been accused of pedophile. We are members of parliament being accused of pedophile. Other members of parliament still hug him. The PSOJ silent. Do they come out and speak against it? No, but they try to suppress it. They try to suppress it. So then can someone tell me, as it relates to Isaac Buchanan, did Isaac Buchanan did anything criminal? No. So then, as it relates to where the Bar Association has their performance standard, and I'm going to show people as it relates to the Bar performance standard, and this is what they are using against Isaac. Performance standard. And so then, holding Isaac, right, at a higher standard than members of parliament who has our political welfare in their hands. Particularly these members of parliament who cannot explain their illegal, illicit enrichment, who cannot explain how they come by their wealth where their salaries cannot justify it. Is Isaac Buchanan in any of that category? So then, yes, he quoted a Vibes Cartel poetic, right? Some of these PM political hypocrites dance to Vibes Cartel music. Whether it may use in terms of such lyrical content, raw, right, at the messaging, right, talking about girls and so forth. Some of them dance to it. So why not speaking Isaac Buchanan? Because he's a threat to a corrupt government. And so then, the will to pursue him is bitter. The will to pursue him is bitter. Now, as I said, that this coming general election, people, let me talk to you. Because we have seen now that Isaac Buchanan seems to be using as a political spawn. So this general election, coming general election, it is not going to be easy, peaceful, and all is well. The truth be told, and I know it's a fact, that this government is fighting tooth and nail, fighting hard to save themselves from prison. They are fighting, they are putting in everything that they can put in to try to stay in power. And I'm going to say something. This is one of the reasons why this government is pushing against constitutional norms. As if he's trying to push the country into a civil war. Remember, I am not telling anyone. I am saying the government behavior, pushing against the rails of justice, breaking constitutional norms, trying to extend the DPP time as a result of he knows very well that the DPP appears to be lenient when it comes to high-profile case to be convicted. And so then, my fellow Jamaicans, there is a technical reason I'm going to defend Mark Golding right here. And I want people to understand me and get it why I'm defending Mark Golding. Because the Jamaica Labour Party act as if they're smart and playing their political cards. Let me tell you why they are playing this as a political card with Isaac Buchanan. Before I go there, I am going to show you the Bar Association professional standard. And this is what they want to use against Isaac. So without any further ado, we're going to read it and then we're going to discuss other stuff.
Okay. All right. Welcome again, everyone. Happy Friday. Sorry, guys. It's a lot to go through. This one.
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah. Okay, so the Jamaican Bar Association adopt the comments of Lord Justice Clerk in the case of repetition of McMahon and others that membership. So this is what we are going to get into, people, as it relates to membership, right, of the Bar Association. That membership of the legal profession is a privilege. People, you hear that? Membership of the Bar Association is a privilege. He said, in the exercise of that privilege, we undertake a duty throughout our professional lives to conduct our clients' affairs to our utmost ability and with complete honesty and integrity. Let us read on. Paragraph 2. We are absolutely clear that this is the gold standard to which all attorneys at law in Jamaica should be held. Now, we encourage all members of the public to demand and expect those qualities of attorneys at law without exception, and to rely upon the justice system administered by the courts as well as the disciplinary system administered by the General Legal Counsel for redress whenever attorneys at law fail in their duties to the public or their fellow professionals. Now, a number of attorneys at law have been arrested recently on fraud, related charges, and so forth and so forth. So let's take away that document. That is something I want to show the people. Now, my people, the bar spoke about privilege. And so then basically, as it relates to the government pursuing ISA, and the judges are swinging parallel in the government's favor. So might be the argument what they want to use, right? That he disrespect one of his fellow workers. And so then they want to go and use that to disbar him, possibly, disbar him. Because being a part of the Bar Association is not a right. People understand where they are going. It's a privilege. And so then that privilege can be taken away from you. Now, so when I talk about the code of conduct and so forth, I talk about the canon and so forth, get into those details on how lawyers are expected to behave, and lawyers supposed to held at a high standard and so forth and so forth. The canon will explain all of those details. But I mean, I am not going to get into that, because what did Isaac really done? He had done nothing criminal. It is not like he had taken a client money, right, and tricked the client. Nothing like that. Nothing criminal. So then, why pursue him in this manner of aggression? Mainly because it is highly political. Now, let me say now in terms of, as it relates to, they want to hit ISTAT as it relates to, might be the code of conduct, right? The way it's expected to be. But watch this now. And so then, what the Jamaica Labour Party want to do is, okay, let us see how Mark Golden is going to deal with this. So then if Mark Golden try to defend it, people, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. Right? It is the political strategy of the JLP. Let us see how Mark Golden is going to deal with this. And that's why the private sector of Jamaica is coming out saying that Buchanan apology, more needed to be done. And Mark Golden need, you understand, to apologize. But watch this now. So in saying that, if Mark defend Isaac Buchanan, then Mark Golden has no more moral authority to speak about the code of conduct where it comes to Jamaica Labour Party members of parliament, where none of them signed the code of conduct. So people, listen up. This is where they are going. They want to justify. And so then if Mark, right, defend Isaac Buchanan, then Mark is now defending, right, that sort of indisciplined behavior, right? And so then, who is Mark Golden now to speak about code of conduct? People see where they are going. You have to be smart in terms of what the Jamaica Labour Party is doing, trying to put everything to the sink, because they know that they are failing, they are falling in the polls. Right? And so then, this is the reason why now Mark Golden has to now separate himself from that. And so then, the People's National Party still can hold the measures in terms of they need to sign the code of conduct because that is what is expected. And so then Mark Golding has to show that sense of difference between the Jamaica Labour Party and them. People's National Party members of Parliament signed the code of conduct. Not one of the Jamaica Labour Party signed the code of conduct. So people must understand the political trickery of what is going on. And when they set a wide gap hole for Mark Golding to fall in it, using Isaac Buchanan situation. And so then people have to understand the political trickery. Arthur Phillips, I say it a lot, if you have to put someone down to make yourself look good. There you go. And so then, of course, Isaac is getting a raw deal. But remember, people, right? Using Isaac as a scapegoat for them to gain political mileage. But guess what? I can say to Isaac that we stand in solidarity with him. People, please understand, right? And make sure you sign the petition, please, to push back on this government, on this vicious government. Because they want reasons to justify their wrongdoing. Let me say something to us all. That from the moment Andrew take over the reins of power, Andrew had already decided not to sign the code of conduct. And this is the difference now. Let me explain it to people. Because Isaac Buchanan, as it relates to him giving the canon, may read it and may sign off on it. As it relates to the Bar of Association Professional Standard, he may read it, signed off on the Professional Code of Conduct. So now they are going to hold him against that, if that's what they are doing. These members of Parliament decided to do wrongdoing from morning, decided to deal with corruption. So then they have not signed any code of conduct. So you cannot hold them responsible as it relates to their behavior. See where we are going. See where we are going, people. And show them Wilmington can say anything in Parliament. Wilmington can disrespect anyone. He did not sign a code of conduct. What sort of behavior you expect? He did not sign any code of conduct. Right? None of them sign a code of conduct. So what sort of government is this? That you ask the people, you ask the electorate to vote for you, and you are going to represent the electorate. And your intention is not to hold yourself to a professional standard. And the same hypocritical government is setting up Isaac Buchanan to be held at a professional standard. Oh, no, look on the hypocrisy now. Look on the hypocrisy now. And look on the dictatorship now. You get it? So I want people to get the picture. And so then Mark Golding did not fall into that trap. Because Mark Golding is smarter than them. Mark Golding did not fall for that trap. And that's why we are going to tell them now and show them what Mark Golding is going to do when Mark Golding is the incumbent government without any delay. My Jamaican people, this is what Mark Golding promised them. And this is one of the reasons why they are trembling.
that when we become the next government, and we find out that anything we want before we come in there, and crime for community, and run for done, sorry for them, we're going on and ease up. We're going to hold them accountable for their wrongdoing. Because the Jamaican people deserve and want that.
Okay. So people, you see why they are trembling? Because Mark Golden told them plain that look, when you step out and I step in, auditing is going to run. And if you found wanted, it's going to be a problem. And you see how they are going around the local government election? People, the reason why they are going around the local government election, I almost presume that you're not going to have a local government election. Why did I say that? Because if PNP take over the local government election and audit run, bangarang are going to start before that general election because people are going to be exposed. It is going to be probably that we find more than the 6 members of parliament. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire cabinet under investigation. Put them all in jail. And most importantly, take back all of the Jamaicans people money. Of course, I love that comment. Put it up, make the people let me see. You understand? Yes, let us read it again. Put them all in jail. And most importantly, take back all of the Jamaican people money. Yeah, man, take back the beaches. You understand? And stop them in a them gap. Mark Golden is going to do that. Mark Golden is going to make sure that bill, that impeachment bill, go into law. Now we have seen this government. Let me tell you something, people. Let me speak this. Dracula, Count Dracula, and his counterparts, they are racing home. But to the east, while they are racing home, the sun is rising from the east. And so then, if they get caught on the journey when the sun rises, you know what will happen to Dracula? Count Dracula is going to melt. And so then, 2 years of deliverance, time running down. Let us give the DPP an extension. Let us increase these judges. Let us, most of all, ask the judiciary to close SSL case. We are going to get to that. Dracula is racing home while the sun rises from the east. From Nigel Point to Moran Point, the color orange is permeating the entire region. And we are going to give Mark Golden a win. That's when he goes in, he can pass any bill into law because he has the numbers. Andrew Holness, let me tell you this, people, and I'm saying this to you. We're going to see if he's going to loose up the dictator by using the 49 majority, because that is what he's depending on, his 49 majority. Yes. and the set of evildoers, they are going to support him. They are with him. And so then, let us wait and see as we approach the general election. But let me tell you something, Andrew. The longer you stay, your numbers will be reducing in the poll, because we, the vampire hunters, know where the vampire lives. We know your strategies. We know your rivers of lies. We know your promises. And let me say something to POJ, because PSOJ is going parallel with you. Because they know that they caught up, some of the agents of POJ caught up to you. And you are holding the information. Don't release any of the 6 members of parliament names. We don't want those names released out into the public, because you know that can damper our success as it relates to the general election coming up. But guess what? We don't have to wait on names to release. We know that you all are corrupt. So we don't want to know what are the specifics. We know you all are corrupt. So then, of course, what we have here, because he cannot trick us again. Can't trick us again. So let us go into what he's saying. Holness aiming to hold local government elections. Let us hear what he has to say. All right, play that clip up.
Okay, one sec, guys. Okay, welcome everyone. And I just, why am I not seeing it? I pinned the link for the petition to support Isaac Buchanan.
Yeah. So we are going to pin the link for the petition to support Isaac Buchanan. And people, please, and that's why, you know, I build the background for people to understand what is going on, right? And please support Isaac, because yes, Isaac, poor people defended that, right? And we have to support him and rally around him.
Okay, which one you want me to share now? Sorry.
One is aiming to hold local government election.
Okay.
All
right.
Read that to me.
Okay, so it's dated August 3rd, 2023. And Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Thursday morning indicated that Jamaicans can expect to go to the polls by February for the long overdue local government election. I guess he's referring to February 2024. The last election was held in November 2016. The government intends to fulfill the constitutional requirements and the Constitution as it relates to the local government elections, he told journalists at a press briefing at the office of the Prime Minister in St. Andrew. They have set a date. It has been postponed. If there is a need, if something happens, if there's an exogenous shock, a weather event, then certainly that has to be considered.
Okay.
But as it is now, it is the intention of the government to fulfill its constitutional duties, he added.
Okay.
Take it away.
People, yes. People, you and I know very well that we're not to listen to a word. Him, Andrew Holness, talking about fulfilling constitutional requirements when he had already broken it. When he had already broken it. And totally, right, deprive the people of Jamaica as it relates to their representative by not having the local government election. And now he's talking about, right, is going to go parallel with the Constitution. He had already broken it. And this is the type of person that we have. Right? A diabolical liar. And so then we are saying to him, whenever you're ready, call it, Andrew, call it. Whenever you're ready, call it, Andrew, call it. Now, let me say this. Barrington Clark, Byron, I think the USA government need to come down on this government like what them do to Bruce Golding government and remove the Prime Minister. Barrington Clark, let me say this. Right now, I don't know if that is not in the pipeline. I tend to don't even speak on that. It's a possibility that that may end the pipeline. Now, let me say this to my Jamaican people. That all what this government does is to promise lies upon lies upon lies upon lies and nothing works. Right? And he realized as a result of him involved, right, in so much allegation of corruption, so much allegation of corruption. You have seen my thumbnail. You have seen my thumbnail. From ever since I am doing the SSL case, I have asked 2 questions that the Prime Minister, as we speak, has not come out and give the Jamaican people an answer. I asked the Prime Minister to explain to the Jamaican people how much he put in SSL and how much he got out of SSL. I've been asking that from God he knows when, and all now. We haven't gotten any answer. So then, let us move on. Let us go to, when we talk about visionary, when we talk about the PNP and the ideas that is going to vitalize the country. We give thanks to Damien Crawford coming back to defend poor people. Damien Crawford, poor people defender, similar to Isaac Buchanan. So without any further ado, let me have you listen to Damien Crawford. When we talk about inspiration, Damien indeed is an inspirator. Without any further ado, Damien Crawford. That's it. All right. So finish with this.
I want to talk to you today about an important concept which is called ideas. Ideas is an important concept to understand because ideas is the product of any political party. It is because the other party have no ideas why they want to change politics to a politics of shoes and clocks and dub plate and money because they have no ideas. So obvious it is that they have no ideas, that the PMP's manifesto is required reading for every Labourite sitting in the Jamaica Labour Party offices. But comrades, let me mash down the lie, because the JLP cannot steal the PMP ideas, because they don't understand ideas worse the People's National Party ideas. Comrade Golden, a problem we have is that we have small minds trying to fix big problems. And therefore, when I say ideas, they take a concept and think that's the ideas. When we said paternity leave, is because we recognize a social problem in this country. Time has come for the unit of family to be returned to one man and one woman in a household, ensuring that the child have full support. The time has come. Comrades, in the world, 7% of the children only have one parent. In Jamaica, 47% of our children only have one parent. When a child have one parent, they lose the support of over 30 people. Because if the father not there, then the grandmother and the grandfather is also not there. Then the auntie and the uncle is also not there. Then the father friend is also not there. 47% of our children have 30 less people in support. So when we say paternity leave, it was to make the father recognize from the start that he has a duty and a responsibility to a better country by making sure there is a better family. I can't see, I cannot understand how a man can support a party but not support him children. If you don't support your child, you should have out of support. So if you're saying that you are a PNP, you must ensure that your child receives your presence and your support. Comrades, when we said paternity leave, we recognized that the children with one parent were the ones most likely to have malnutrition. The children with one parent were the ones most likely to get into gangs. The children with one parent were the ones least likely to get success in school. So we never promote paternity leave for 10% of our society. Because it was not a way to pay you less. It was a way to change our society. They don't want you to learn that because they want people to clean them toilets. They don't want you to understand this because they want people to bathe them dog. The People's National Party is about freedom, and the freedom starts in the home and the family. We are not the same. They say they stole our ideas when we said rent to buy. When we proposed it, it was a joke. Because they don't know the 4 hurdles of an idea. Then all of a sudden, the Prime Minister now is putting up rent to buy every single day, but he doesn't understand what rent to buy is. We knew that there were some people that don't have a pay slip. We knew that those who keep dance and make a money don't have a pay slip to go to bank. We knew that those who are sell downtown don't have a pay slip to go to bank. We knew that some of the people who hustle and struggle every day in the streets could not get a mortgage without a pay slip. So we said, allow them to prove that they can manage the mortgage by paying 6 months of rent. And if you can pay 6 months of 80,000, it must be equal to 3 months pay slip of 80,000. They take it now and say you rent for 6 years. Comrades, if it's one thing I know about Mark Golden, is that he's a very powerful man.
Amen.
Is that he's a strong man. And
Amen.
when we sat and reasoned, I said to Comrade Golden, if you want equality for women, you had to do paternity leave for men. In a country with small business, the business start to see our women as a risk to employ, because if she's pregnant, she would have to be replaced by somebody else. The only way you can make a man and woman equal in employment is if the man was of equal risk to the small business with 3 and 4 people. We are big minds. We are big minds. So stop being led astray Being told that we have no solution for this country. Being told that we have no answers. I am committing my full support. The time has come for the politics to return to thinking. The time has come for the politics to return to policies. The time has come because we're not going to sing, juke them with the quarter rum. We're not going to sing, juke them with the $5 grand. We're not going to sing, juke them with the plywood and the zinc fence. We are going to juke them with policies for their children and their family. The time has come that we remember that is power for your children and power for your parents and power for the people.
Time is up. What was it only when we talk to the people? Yes. So for those lies, we are pushing back. When you said that the PNP have no plans, while you are stealing the PNP plans, and you see the energy and the vision that we have. But since Damien pitched it so high, now let me show you the plan what the Jamaica Labour Party has. Because the only thing what they plan to do is to destroy our beautiful Jamaica via corruption, where their pays cannot justify their wealth, where they try to muzzle the Integrity Commission, because the Integrity Commission is exposing their corruption. So without any further ado, let me show you the plan of the Jamaica Labour Party. Play the clip.
Okay. All right, so welcome to everyone who is here. Thank you so much. Happy Friday to everyone who recently joined and still here. All right, let me just expand that.
Chairman, may I say something here? You mentioned about protecting the rights of the citizens of this country. I would interpret that to mean that you also want to protect the rights of the people of this country to know the truth. And when questions are asked so that the people of Jamaica can be educated, you don't make a ruling to suppress the question that is asked. You mentioned the responsibility and the duty of this oversight committee. But if you noticed, the most recent statement from the chairman of the commission gave the impression that they're not answerable to the parliament. Made it clear that the commissioners were appointed by the Governor General, and that the directors were appointed by the Governor General on the recommendation of the commissioners. My interpretation of that statement is to say to us here, we can go to hell. They're not answerable to us, they can't do anything. We're not whether we're oversight it or no, it doesn't matter to them at all. But when I said the issue of the people of Jamaica knowing the truth, the last time we were here, I asked the director if there were anyone on the team, any senior directorate, a member of the senior directorate, that was or were politically exposed. The ruling that I was going on the wrong road, I shouldn't follow that line of question. You didn't give a reason. Can I ask you the reason why you make that ruling that I shouldn't follow that line of question? Question I believe that was relevant.
Well, member, first of all, I think that one of the things that we want to ensure is that we are not pejorative. We don't make assumptions And we use this committee as a means of, as you say, ferret the truth, but not in a manner also that would be disruptive and destructive to any individual in the process of so doing. I think that what we want to do is to enable everyone to feel that whatever comes out of this committee is going to be fair and just, and that it will inure to the highest level of protection of the rights of everyone.
What you said, there should be any assumption or disruptive to a person, maybe the person's feeling. I asked specifically. Let me finish. No. I have a right to speak just as you are any other member. As long as I asked the question of the director. Again, I'm stated whether there anyone in his team that was a politically exposed person. You didn't allow us to get to it. You ruled me, then shouldn't go there. The issue I asked, and I mentioned then that Ryan Evans was a political advisor to the Dr. Peter Phillips, and I might go further, that he applied
Member,
for a
please,
job.
Member.
No.
Please,
I have
member.
a right to ask
I
the
did not
questions.
say you don't have a right, but I'm trying to say, let's make this meeting what we want in fact to do. Not to be, this committee at this meeting is to receive the reports. I wish that we received the reports and that we treated them appropriately.
Yes, but at the same meeting, I asked the question, he refused to allow me. Let me finish, Chairman. You can make a statement after. You made your statement, nobody interrupted you. I have the same right as you do. I stated then that Mr. Ryan Evans was a political advisor to Dr. Peter Phillips. I go further. He applied for a job, a senior position in ministry. And I know for a fact that the ministry did not employ him because of his political activity and involvement. And therefore, this is something that the Jamaica ought to know, that a senior director at the Integrity Commission is a political activist. Don't tell me not to speak.
Member, I refuse to have you describe in any way any member who is not able to attend any sitting in the manner that you're
Why didn't you allow him to answer them when he was here?
Please, that matter I will deal with at another level.
No, if I can't ask my question freely and you want to muzzle me, you can keep your meeting by yourself. You want to muzzle me and your rulings are what I call it. You freely with no basis.
Very well.
You want to keep the truth from Jamaica, and I'm not going to be a part of anything that you're trying to stifle the truth. Jamaica must know what we have dealing with these sensitive areas.
Member, there is decorum and there is respect in all of these matters. And I wish that you would preserve.
You're telling me about decorum and respect?
Thank you very much.
I asked the question very decently and in no raw customs. Don't tell me about decorum and respect. I'm trying to get the truth. I'm saying, is that disrespect?
Please.
It seems you want to encourage all form of things, and that's wrong, and it must not be exposed. I'm not going to be a party to anything that trumps the truth. Jamaica should know. You can keep your committee by yourself.
Okay.
Close it. To find out what's happening with Arlene.
Okay. So then, the PNP who had vision for us, the vision of the Jamaica Labour Party is to muzzle the Integrity Commission, hide the truth from the electorate. The vision, as it relates to Warmington, is to disrespect our laws, our norms, and in extension, disrespect our electorate. POCOJ allowed this man to continue to behave so despicable. PSOJ allowed this man to behave so despicable. And now a member of the PSOJ is asking Mangolin to apologize. the POCOJ agreed for this government to politically malign Isaac Buchanan character. So then when you look on a vulture like this, can him compare to someone who is caring, someone who defends the poor and the vulnerable? He has spoken that there is no wrong and right when it comes to Andrew Holness for him, because he will defend Andrew Holness by any means necessary. So then, if Andrew Holness cannot explain his wealth, if Andrew Holness' statutory declaration cannot be verified, he supports him. He supports him. So let me ask Edward Warmington, was it Andrew Holness who awarded your seat in Parliament, or it was the Jamaican electorate? But you're bad mind, you're ungrateful, and you turn your back on the Jamaican electorate. And now you want to burn down the Integrity Commission because the Integrity Commission is exposing the truth. So let us slide and take away that. Now, I am going to turn my attention to Paula Llewellyn, PPP. And these are my final 4 topic line. And I'm going to show people, because people know how Mystic Sensation does his thing as it relates to evidence. And I want to know, let me say this, that the extension of Paula Llewellyn, is it a result of quid pro quo? Quid pro quo simply means that I do for you and I expect you to do for me. And so then, Andrew Holness, based on the tendency, appears to be someone who crowd himself as it relates to his inner circle, and where persons within his inner circle, as it relates to Rural Reid and others, right, who have situation in the court as it relates to corruption. So then, my ardent listeners, we are going to look at some cases. I am going to show you 3 cases to justify my thumbnail. So on my thumbnail, we see all the allegations that I have listed there. And that 5% that you have seen there, I am saying that Paula Llewellyn has a 5% rate when it comes to high-profile case, as opposed to have a stronger prosecutorial rate 65 to 67% when it comes to the ordinary person. So when it comes to the ordinary persons, to prosecute them, those persons being prosecuted. But when it comes to members of parliament and elites, Paula Llewellyn have a difficulty in prosecuting those cases. This, and only me, I said that, I am going to show you the document for people to read it and understand it. So without any further ado, document number 1 that I'm going to present. Put up that document for me.
Okay, let me just share. Okay.
DPP says she can't prosecute Kevin at this time.
Okay. All right.
Read it out.
Okay, so Kingston, the Director of Public Prosecution, Paula Llewellyn, accused that her office cannot at this time properly initiate criminal prosecution against any member of the Jamaica government over the failure to submit certain information to the Office of the Contractor General. In a statement, the DPP said that she also made the decision not to initiate criminal proceedings against the Cabinet Secretary after closely examining the documentary material provided by the OCG, which is the Office of the Contractor General, along with 51 exhibits. The OCG had referred the entire cabinet to the DPP for prosecution after it failed to provide information on the granting of approval in relation to 3 major issues related to infrastructure projects, including the continuation of the North-South link of Highway 2000, the Gordon K Container Transshipment Hub, and the establishment of an oversight panel to oversee the award of government contracts.
Okay, all right, take it away. So that case number 1, where the OCG recommended a case to the DPP for the DPP to proceed with charges. The DPP found other reasons to divert away from that. That is case number 1. Now let us go to case number 2.
Okay. Okay, so Les Green fires back at DPP over charges for prominent politician. Former Assistant Police Commissioner Les Green has responded to the Director of Public Prosecution. Oh, you want to read it? Okay.
Okay, so let me just read it for my ardent listeners. Right? So Les Green fires back at DPP over charges for prominent politician. Former Assistant Police Commissioner Les Green has responded to the Director of Public Prosecution, Paula Llewellyn, explaining why he did not bring criminal charges against a Jamaican politician in 2011. In an opinion in 2011, the DPP had said further evidence was needed in order for her to make a viable prosecution in the court. Okay. Today, Green said he felt that any unilateral action by him would be counterproductive. Why did Les Green said that? The controversy over the police handling of the 2011 probe against the politician ignited last Sunday after the Miami Herald quoted Green as saying he investigated allegations that the politician tried to arrange at least 2 murders. Let me read it over again. The controversy over the police handling of the 2011 probe against the politician ignited last Sunday after the Miami Herald quoted Green as saying he investigated allegations that the politician tried to arrange at least 2 murders. Now, according to the publication, Green said he found enough evidence. People, Green said he found enough evidence to recommend that prosecutors charge the politician, and went further to indicate that a 2011 ruling by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutor support its finding. But Llewellyn, the Director of Public Prosecutions, fired back, explaining that her office gave Green and his investigators a legal opinion in June 2011 with recommendations that were based on an assessment of the materials they provided. She also pointed out that her office made it clear to Green and his team that the Jamaican Constabulary Force Act and the Jamaican Constitution empower the police to lay criminal charges without reference to the DPP. Now, this is ridiculous because the DPP can instruct this. So the DPP is now shifting the blame game because the DPP don't want to charge the politician. Now, according to the DPP, only Green, who was the chief investigator, could explain why he did not proceed to arrest and charge the target of the investigation if he was convinced that he had sufficient material to do so, rather than send this file to her. Now, she is the DPP people, right? And she's shifting away from the file. Now, in a statement this afternoon, Green said he was fully aware that he could charge the politician, but explained that the probe was a complex one that required a comprehensive prosecution strategy. He said the investigation directly linked a number of cases which were already before the courts and the DPP. You hear that, people? According to Green, a new strategy was required to ensure that all the identified persons could be prosecuted according to the available evidence. He also said he believed in bringing effective prosecutions in a partnership between investigators and prosecutors rather than bringing charges in isolation. Take that away, honey. Take that away. So let me explain to the people now, people. Here is Les Green. I have his case, right? A senior police officer. But having the evidence to charge, but want some guidance and want some advice from the DPP, which it is the responsibility of the DPP that the DPP can look on the case file and say, let us see if we have all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed. But before the DPP done that, the DPP shifting away from the responsibility might be possibly because politicians involved. Now, that is a plain case there. When I said the prosecutor, 5% rate as it relates to high-profile cases. So that is a clear case where you see the prosecutor dodging a case file and said that if Green think he had sufficient charges, he should go ahead and charge the politician. Then why the DPP couldn't say, okay, based on what you presented here, you have sufficient charges, let sufficient evidence, let us charge them. Why the DPP did not say that? So, Paula Llewellyn, if you are listening, why then, when Les Green gave you the case file, your responsibility as the DPP, right, can overlook the case and give the appropriate instruction whether or not. So then if Les Green did not have the evidence, say to Les Green, no, you don't have the evidence. But to turn away from the case, and then you are saying in terms of your defense, to say then if Les Green has the evidence, why did Les Green didn't charge? So this is what I'm showing you, the pattern that follows Paula Llewellyn. And this pattern, of course, Andrew Holness prefer this pattern. Let us go to case file number 3. Jamaica being application to shut down SSL.
There you go.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it soars to the core. Look at these people. Nigel Clark claimed that the FBI is investigating SSL. When we found out that the FBI wasn't investigating SSL, Nigel Clark switched to say that Paul was taking over the investigation and promised that the Jamaican people, and rightly so, would have received some information, and particularly for those investors who invested in SSL, would at least get some information within the next 2 or 3 months. As we speak, nothing. People, look what is happening now. The government seeking to shut down SSL case. Let me read it for you people. The Supreme Court has ruled that the government's application to shut down Fraud It Investment Firms Tax and Security Limited will be heard in open court to allow the public and investors to follow the proceedings. My God. Justice David Batt has also ordered that the application for permission being sought by the Financial Services Commission, FSC in bracket, to wind up the company will be tried in November, but after the outcome of a separate trial that month in which the FSC is seeking to dislodge Cadian Campbell and SSL appointed trustee. The judge made the orders on Thursday during a hearing of the wind-up application that the FSC filed in March. Can you imagine, my people? Can you imagine? The FSC is the government body that regulates the security industry. The FSC, which currently has temporary management of SSL, wants to close down the firm, arguing that it does not have enough money to pay its debt. Thursday hearing was held in camera, which means the public, including journalists, could not attend. What are they hiding, my people? What are they hiding? Oh my God. This government. King's Counsel Caroline Hay, who is representing Campbell, said she raised a preliminary objection, arguing that the FSC was abusing the court's processes because it's also seeking permission to wind up SSL in 2 differently filed court cases. In January, the regulator sought and obtained an injunction blocking Campbell from dealing with SSL assets. He was appointed by SSL then management on January 16. A day before the FSC took control of the company and appointed Kenneth Tomlinson as temporary manager. In February, the FSC amended the general application to include an alternate request to wind up SSL if the court, after the inquiry into Campbell's appointment and the solvency of the company, found something wrong with Campbell's appointment. He said it seems that the FSC was seeking the same relief in two different claims. But let us take that away. Let me talk to the people. Take that away. Let me talk to my people.
If Carl is investigating, how come they're wrapping it up?
Why if you speak loud, let them hear you? No, because
I'm saying if Kroll is investigating, how come they're wrapping it up in an active investigation? It don't make no sense.
Now, as my wife said, then if Kroll is investigating, why the government is pushing now to close the case?
And they appointed Kroll to investigate. So
people, just imagine what the government is doing. So what this tell people? Does the government have a hand in SSL? Why the rush? Why the rush to close SSL case? Let me switch to Paula Llewellyn. Paula, have you heard this? Can you step in here, Paula? Paula, can you step into this? Let me give you why you should step in, Paula. We have the primary person said she was coached by you, Perry. Mrs. Llewellyn, I know you, Perry has not been questioned, and now the government seeking to close SSL. Now, people, when you look at a situation like this, what are we to believe? Why the government rushing to close SSL? Is it because the government know that, okay, an election is around the corner? We have to clean up all the mess to get rid of everything, right? To clean away the evidence. And so then let us wind up that. But before we do it, let us see if we can pay the judges 200 increase. So then, I don't know, quid pro quo. What is going on here? Clearly, Andrew Holness is the only person who benefited from SSL. There is no investigation in the Prime Minister to the fact that the Prime Minister had an account in SSL. No investigation into.
He's the only one that benefited.
And yet, everyone in SSL lost their money. And the Prime Minister seems to be double blessed. He's the only one that benefited. So when we look at all those things, we left to wonder, a government like this seek to be on a mission of covering their wrongdoings. And so then we can see the mission in extending Paula Llewellyn time. Is this the reason why Paula Llewellyn time being extended? Because she will not give any instruction to do the following investigations that needs to be done. And even when a case file like what Les Green presented to her should prefer to shy away from that. Do we want a DPP like this? People, tell me, do we need a DPP to handle our affairs so that the elites, the politicians, can break the law at will? The elite and the politicians are above the law, but the ordinary common people cannot and pay the consequences of the law. So, my people, dear, come to the end of my presentation. And before I ended, I want to play another clip of facts. The fact that the judge let Prosecutor go and Campbell, Jamaica, to pay his legal fees is alarming and astounding commentary. I am telling you, Mr. Energy. But let me show you how the corruption continues. I am going to show you how the corruption continues. So I am going to read something for you, and there is no surprise there of a new appointment. So this is my final clip for the night, and I have to get into it, and I have to make my ardent listeners be aware. Now, we know that the Prime Minister was investigated between the period 2006 and 2009. The question, who was the permanent secretary then? Who was the permanent secretary that should able to look over all contract deals, that, of course, anything has to do with the awarding of contract, right? She is one of the primary signatories that would sign off on it and has the responsibility to advise the Prime Minister as it relates to good governance. And so then, if the permanent secretary see anything that we call hanky-panky or any anomalies, the permanent secretary is responsible to point out these anomalies. But let me show you something. Let me show you something. Remember, I said between 2006 to 2009, the Prime Minister was investigated for illegal awarding of contract as it relates to the report over $20 million worth to Gavin. Let us look on this, my people. Madam Cabinet Secretary reports for duty. Let us look on this, my people, and let me read it out to you.
Hold on, it's not being shared. Hold on, 1 sec.
I want to show you.
Friday, guys, let me just share.
Last week, I said that this government have no means of ending their corruption. Madam, let me read it on top. Madam Cabinet Secretary reports for duty. Of course, Madam Secretary, report for duty. You have expected to get that position. Nepotism, cronyism, and skullduggery. Let us read on. Newly appointed Cabinet Secretary Audrey Sewell says their assignment as head of the country's civil service presents a new opportunity to perform and give of her best to Jamaica. Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Monday announced the appointment of Sewell, retired Army Chief Lieutenant General Rocky Meade, and Arlene Williams to pivotal positions with the government. Oh my goodness. Meade, who is on the third assignment, is under here, is to assume the role of permanent secretary, right? In the office of the Prime Minister, while Williams will take up a similar post in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. So will serve as a PS for both portfolios. Take it away. Let me talk to the people. What the people need to understand and people need to be aware of, that Arthur Sewell was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Education between 2008 and 2009. When Andrew Holness in the Ministry of Education under investigation for corruption in the illegal awarding of contracts. So then, Ms. Sewell, question to you, because some of those contracts would possibly, let me use that word, pass through your hands. And if it's so, you didn't expect anything? Was the procurement guidelines being followed appropriately as it relates to those contracts awarding out? And then, if it is your signature that affixes for payment, you didn't realize any of this? Okay, let me give you the benefit of the doubt. That one miss you, Audrey. So then now, coming forward, the Prime Minister draw for you again. The Prime Minister draw for you again. Because you are not going to see the anomalies. Because you have also missed them in 2008 when the Prime Minister was investigated by the Integrity Commission. I will say no more and let the people decide your fate. So, once again, my ardent listeners, let me just go through the chat for wrapping up. And thank you to always pass through on a Friday, tuning in with Mystic Sensation, right? And then, of course, you know, as always, we will chat together. All right. So let us see in the chat and see if I can answer some.
Okay, guys, and also the WhatsApp number is streaming across the screen. So if you want to call in, the line is open. So you can call in and voice your opinion.
Okay. So.
Or whatever you need to say. Okay, so Mr. Gilmore said.
Bless up, Gilly.
He's saying totalitarianism.
Totalitarianism, yeah, to the fullest, no doubt about that. Holiness throwing himself with the military. Gilly, do you think we are going to have a general election? I'm just saying, you know, I'm just saying. The man using the 49 members strong in Parliament, right, to malign the Constitution, because that is what he's doing. So let us see if he's going to use it to do other things that is going to be alarming. Because what he's depending on now is the 49 member of Parliament strength that he has. And he's going to use it, I believe. Just a matter of my subjective opinion.
Just go back up.
All right.
So Uriel was saying this about what...
So if that's the case, how comes Juliet is on the oversight committee? Uriel, that is it. But it goes to nepotism, cronyism, and skullduggery, Uriel. You can't have where you have the Prime Minister engaged in allegation of corruption and the Prime Minister's wife sits on the Integrity Commission oversight. It couldn't have happened in no first world country. That could never, ever happen. so you can see the placement strategy of Andrew Holness, making sure that he put people in places to be protected, giving extension for protection. Quid, is it possible quid pro quo? I don't know. I have no proof. But I'm just saying. Arthur Phillips, isn't withholding information from the OTG considered a crime? Of course, that's a crime. But you know which government is ruling. All right. Okay. All right. So then, okay, I will now hand over the rest of segment to my wife, Jeopardy. Folks, I know you're lining up and waiting. Once again, my people, thank you for passing through. And for those who visit, like the content, want to subscribe, right? We appreciate that. Subscribe, like, and share, and continue. Help us grow, right? We really appreciate every moment of that. All right.
Okay, guys. So again, thank you so much for joining in. Really appreciate each and everyone's input into the discussion. Thank you so much for being here. We know that you could have been elsewhere this Friday and you chose to be with us, so really appreciate it. And Tara is saying, sure, quid pro quo.
All right, Tara. And something again what Tara says. A Holness TG3 card, man. The oversight committee needs an oversight committee for itself. All right, Tara, I hear you.
All right, so we are going, okay. Oh, Mr. Gilmore. Mr. Gilmore said, man putting the necessary contrivances in place to rule for the next 30 years.
Whoa. Oh, Jesus.
Arthur.
Father God help us.
So Arthur is saying, the PM said it's up to the DPP to continue in the position if she wants. Then why break the Constitution to extend her time?
But again, Arthur, for the Prime Minister to say that, right, it is unfair to other persons who work within that office that might be needs to be promoted. And so then you are going to you are going to create a stability just to the fact that you want to extend someone tenure. So other persons must be suffocated under that. Come on, man. Right? People who might be can go there and we can see that 5% prosecutorial rate as it relates to high profile cases increase to maybe 60%. As oh, you understand 68% in terms of prosecuting, right, ordinary people. So we want to see a change. And right now, Paula, make the change there. The 5% they cannot pound with. You understand? So the elites do their thing, get away. Politicians do their thing and get away. And the poor man being grabbed and prosecuted. It can't work. All right.
Okay.
A bit of prosecuted on her any day.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go into Jeopardy again, Baron. Thank you for your usual well put together presentation. You put a lot of work into
Thank you,
your
Annie.
research, and always try to make sure that you come with the facts and back up whatever you're saying with relevant information. So really appreciate the work that you're doing and enlightening our Jamaican people, so that when it comes to time for them to make a decision for which way forward for our country, they can make an informed decision. Okay, and also to call out the government on their wrongdoings, because Andrew said we should when we see it, so we are doing it, right? Mr. Gilmore said, remember, white collar crimes are not crimes, Baron.
Okay, as according to DPP, I don't know.
Only poor people commit crime.
Only poor people commit crime, it looks like.
All right, so let me just gonna take out these.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go into Jeopardy. Let me just get the template here. All right, so we are going to go into Jeopardy, where we're going to be playing for credits. We're playing for $1,000 credit, Digicel or Flow, to the person who has the most points at the end of the game, and then we're going to have 4 runners up of $500 each, Digicel or Flow. And the question isn't going to be in the form of a statement. You're going to answer in the form of a question. If it's the name of a person, then you answer who is or what is, and who is. And if it's a place or thing, then you answer what is, and then give the answer. Bingeroy Vlogs, welcome, welcome.
Bless up, Bingeroy.
Thank you so much for joining. All right, let me just take that off. I did it not. Okay. All right, so I am going to share the template, and in keeping with independence, most of the question has to do with Jamaican heritage and stuff like that. So let me just share the screen there. Let me just get rid of the logo for a bit. Okay, so these are the categories that we have for tonight. So we have emancipation, Jamaican affairs. Do you remember?
All right. Gilly, please say you have anything tonight.
And these dates and national eras. All right, so BC, so how does one have confidence in the administration to reform our constitution? But
exactly.
BC, happy Friday.
Bless up, BCA. And that's the point, BCA, when you have these people doing their muzzling, they believe that, right, they are not to be held as it relates to checks and balance, right? They are not adhering to good governance in terms of not signing the code of conduct and so forth. And so then if persons decided that they are not, if this government decided that they are not going to sign the code of conduct, why should we trust them to reform the constitution? So that's a very good question, BCA. Very, very good question. Why should we trust them? Right? Because they tell us plain that they don't trust themselves in terms of good governance. So they are not signing the code of conduct. And if they tell themselves that, why should we trust them to transform our constitution? We can't, and that's the point. We need them out. So I am appealing to the 63% of people who did not participate to participate this time, because we need a positive direction. I said, tired of the green people then.
Okay, welcome, Verona. Happy Friday. Thank you so
Bless
much
up,
for
Verona.
joining. And Clifton, welcome. Happy Friday. He says, I joined late, but I enjoy what I hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clifton.
Really appreciate each and everyone's support. Thank you so much. All right, so we are going to start Jeopardy, and Tiffany saying emancipation for 3,000.
All right.
Sorry, for 300. Oh my goodness, what am I saying? All right, so when was Emancipation Day first observed as a public holiday in Jamaica? When was Emancipation Day first observed as a public holiday in Jamaica? Okay, and while you're answering, I must give a shout out to Vibes with the Thompson family. This scarf that I am wearing when I was in Jamaica last year, she gave it to me as a gift, and it, as you can see, it has the Jamaican colors in it, and it's really it's really nice and cozy, because trust me, down here in the basement it's cold. So yeah, I really love it. So big up Vibes with the Thompson, really appreciate it. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Can you hand me that pen there, please?
Okay.
And three. Yep. Oh, somebody put the. Okay, let's see who first came in with the correct response. I see the answer that I am looking for. Yeah, I see the answer that I'm looking for. So what is 1893? Okay, so let's see who first came in. Ricardo, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. All right, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with that answer. Okay, so first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo, and that is for 300 points. Okay, then Tiffany.
So Ricardo for 300.
So Ricardo for 300.
Ricardo start beat the board.
For okay, you say it's 1834 was the apprenticeship period if you behave for 4 years.
Okay.
All right. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Oh my goodness. Okay, Ricardo, choose. Okay, then emancipation for 200. Whose original words inspired the popular saying, emancipate yourself from mental slavery? Whose original words inspired the popular saying, emancipate yourself from mental slavery? And that is for 200 points. Remember, the name of a person is, you start with who is. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, no delays. So who is Marcus Garvey? It says whose original words inspired the popular saying, and these words were first spoken by Marcus Garvey, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Ricardo.
What?
200 points in clip, Tiffany. Then Tiffany. Okay, Mr. Gilmore, but input what is. Remember, name of a person is who is. BC also came in with the correct response, but didn't put who is.
Okay.
Arthur Phillips also who is. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points in clip your Tiffany. All right, so Ricardo. Crying him laptop frozen, hush. And another device fast. Where is Truck Life? And Empress. Oh, Truck Life looking. Tiffany said, let me choose for you, Ricky. Ricardo is looking. From Ricardo, choose. Welcome, David. Happy Friday.
Bless myself, David.
He's saying the government have no head.
On the foot, no time for the people. Wanted to make us poor, but time soon come. Yes, David, of course, time coming.
All right, Ricardo is saying emancipation for 100. Escaped slaves who fled to the mountainous areas of Jamaica were called. Everybody run out, skip out, jump out, roll out, but don't crawl, because then you'll get left behind. So escaped slaves who fled to the mountainous areas of Jamaica were called. Welcome, Peter. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining in.
Bless yourself, Peter.
All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for, and oops. Who are is maroons. So because they're people, it has to be who. So who are is maroons. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response, and that was for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me refresh. Okay, Ricardo said what is, and then he corrected himself and said who are maroons. Then Mr. Gilmore, oh, you put what as well. Tiffany, Peter, so got it correct. And Arthur, but he put what is instead of who. All right, so Ricardo, 100 points.
Wow.
Ricardo dominating the board so far. Him alone a dance up on the board. Come people don't need to jump up there. Okay, Ricardo. Also, I'm not seeing it on this. BC also put maroons. All right, Ricardo is saying emancipation for 400. Too funny, so Ricky, give me a chance. How much months now I don't win anything? Seems me have to go back down to hospital to see if I can win. Lol. All right, so 400. After Jamaica stopped observing Emancipation Day as a public holiday at independence in 1962, when was it reinstated as a holiday? After Jamaica stopped observing Emancipation Day as a public holiday at independence in 1962, when was it reinstated as a holiday? I only need the year. So when was it reinstated as a holiday? All right, let's see. Don't see the answer that I am looking for yet. All right, now I see the answer that I am looking for. Sniper, welcome.
Big up yourself,
Friday
Sniper.
to you. How are you doing? All right, let me, I see the answer that I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna reveal it. What is 1998? So after 1962, we did not celebrate Emancipation Day again until 1998 when it was reinstated, and it was championed by Rex Neckerford, who led a 6-year campaign along with others for Emancipation Day to be celebrated as a public holiday.
Exactly.
Right, so 1998, and that's for 400 points. All right, let's see who first came in with the correct response. So first on the board with the correct response is Ricky Ricardo.
Okay.
Some people fall 1 year short. It's a World Cup here. Okay, PG, BC is under PG administration. Okay. All right. So Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Come on, people. Ricardo needs some more competition. Need to type a little faster or get a faster Wi-Fi to compete with Ricardo, alien Wi-Fi. All right. He said emancipation for 500, and this is double your points. Well, double point answer. All right. Which artist produced the monumental sculpture Redemption Song at the entrance of Emancipation Park in Kingston? Which artist produced the monumental sculpture Redemption Song at the entrance of Emancipation Park in Kingston? And that's a double point answer. So whoever answers correctly is going to get 1,000 points. Nope, I'm not seeing the answer yet. Hayworth, welcome. Happy Friday.
Yes, Hayworth.
Hayworth is logging. Needs to refresh. It needs to refresh her. Yeah. Welcome. And guys, remember that the petition is pinned at the top of the chat, so you can go and show your support for Isaac Buchanan.
Yeah, remember
click the link.
Yes, so remember the petition, guys. Please support Isaac Buchanan by just click on the link and sign the petition.
Okay, so I see the answer that I am looking for. So let me just reveal that. Who is Laura Facey? So who is Laura Facey? And that is for 1,000 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me just refresh and see. Okay, it started there. Ricardo, 1,000 points.
1,000
Who
points?
is Laura Facey? It's double point. Then Peter. Then, okay, Peter went back and corrected there. Isaac's family, thank you for still being here. Really appreciate it. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? So Ricardo just finished the board then with laugh. Come, Ricardo. Which category? Heroes for 300. All right, heroes for 300. The Order of National Hero was passed by Parliament in this year, just the year. The Order of National Hero was passed by Parliament in this year. Oh, Eworth is still lagging. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. So no delays. What is 1969? So 1969, the Order of National Hero was passed in Parliament. And that is for 300 points. Right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Let me just refresh the chat. And it's Ricardo. I'm refreshing. Ricardo for 300 points. So
300
Ricardo,
points.
yeah, choose the next category and for how many points? Okay. Okay. All right. So Ricardo, choose the next category. Let me see if he's chosen. Oh, service unavailable. 1 sec. Okay. That didn't go through. Okay, Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? There. I think his internet is giving him problems still. Let me just refresh and see. Okay, Ricardo. Done. Wonder if it's me, because now the chat is gone. When I ask him how I'm getting good reception at Claremont. 1 sec, guys. I'm not seeing my chat anymore. 1 sec. Let me just use another device. This laptop froze again. You want to choose for him, Tiffany, until he gets back in. The chat is gone. It's not just on this.
So what was that?
I have no clue. 1 sec, guys. I wonder if they're hearing me. Are you guys hearing us? Because I'm having issues with the chat. The chat is blank. Let me just try again. Okay, it says yes. All right. Just barely seeing there. Ricardo says he can't type in the chat. Yes, we're hearing. Let me see what happened to Ricardo. Let me just go in. All right, he's hearing. Just give me 1 minute there, guys, or 2 minutes. Let me just quickly go into the studio and see what's happening, because this happened to Arlene earlier too. Somebody hide them from the channel. So let me just go and see what's happening with Ricardo. Okay, he's there. It's back now. Okay.
Okay, so you're good now, Ricardo. Okay, all right, cool.
All right, he's good. All right, so choose the category. The next category, Ricardo. You got the 1969 correctly. So you choose the next category and for how many points? Oh, Daniel is saying I'm late. Hush, Daniel.
Big up yourself, Daniel.
Said he was using 3 devices and couldn't type on any. I don't know what happened either, Ricardo, because the chat just blanked out. I tried 2 devices and I could not see the chat. Okay, yes, the blood of Jesus. All right, Ricardo, choose the next. Empress, welcome. Empress, about to watch you.
Empress, big up yourself.
Happy Friday. All right, so did you choose? I'm not seeing it. Choose Ricardo. So again, Baron Empress says she have you.
Alive.
Yeah, I forgot where that's all.
What a one, Empress.
All right, he's using Oreo. Okay, welcome
Okay.
Oreo. Happy Friday, saying Europe.
Bless yourself, Oreo.
Instead of going another one, let me see what's happening with him. All right, so it's saying heroes for 200. This was the name of the steamship company that Marcus Garvey attempted to launch. This was the name of the steamship company that Marcus Garvey attempted to launch. What was the name of the steamship company? And that's for 200 points. 6. The steamship company. Okay, I see the answer that I am looking for. And it is, what is the Black Star Liner? And that is for 200 points. Somebody make a song of it. Okay, all right, let's see who first came in with the correct response. Simple, so Ricky, too much alien. All right, so first on the board with the correct response is Truck Life.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
Truck Life, then Empress, BC, but didn't put what is, then Arthur, Ricardo,
Ricky alone,
Wayne,
we think so.
Wayne, put instead of what, then Daniel.
So much points for that one.
200. Yes, 200.
So the score as it is, Truck Life on 200 points, Ricky Ricardo 1,900 points. Wow.
All right. So Truck Life is saying heroes for 100. Jamaica's first national hero. Everybody run out. Jamaica's first national hero. Saying his data ain't working at all. When it's a Ricky, how it coming like Barrett never want to win everything off the board.
Wanted of people coming, Tiffany.
All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. So no delays, and it is, who is Marcus Messiah Garvey. And if welcome.
Bless
Happy
myself.
Friday to you. Thank you so much for joining. Saying good night, Mystic Sensation midday.
All right.
See you, Anif. Welcome. And that's for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. All right. Let me just refresh. Okay, here's for 100. So first on the board with the correct response is Ricardo with Marcus Garvey, then Sniper. Oh, he didn't put the Garvey. That's for 100. Then Daniel, Arthur. Okay, Daniel put the his. Okay. Ricardo says so. Byron Badman, Tiffany. And also Empress Kevin, who's Marcus Garvey. All right, so choose the next category and for how many points, Ricardo? Ricardo said Tiffany and ATM, they are clear. Oh my God. Guys, the cheese face wanted a clean sweep, but I had to throw in a kangaroo wrench and stop it. What you mean?
Yeah, man, break him, Truck Life, break him.
He said affairs for 300. So Jamaican affairs 300. Eating too much of this is said to make you coward. Eating too much of this is said to make you coward. And it's a double point answer. So what? Eating too much of what is said to make you... Oh, then no, I just learned it. No. I was like, what? All right, I know it.
Them fast.
May I tell you? All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. So no delays. And what is breadfruit? It said eating too much of this. So eating too much breadfruit
I
makes
never know
you
that.
cover. Me never know that either. And that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Because the amount of breadfruit, me say I throw out there. Everybody does throw out the breadfruit them, so. All right, Ricardo, what is breadfruit?
Oh.
And that is double point, so
Point.
600 points.
600 points.
Yeah. Then Truck Life, Tiffany, Danielle, Sniper, Empress, Arthur. All right, and Arlene.
Arlene said, I would love to be a coward then. That's the Arlene love our breadfruit.
Love our breadfruit. Arthur said roast or fried.
Breadfruit, nice man.
Man, tell you. Especially with some nice salt mackerel or some
I
curry
tell you.
chicken back.
Call my name. Breadfruit and the curry chicken, but the bud.
Bud or some nice fried fish.
Yeah.
All right, so Ricardo saying Jamaican
I think
affairs
breadfruit.
for Jamaican affairs for 400. Anyway, I learned something new, guys, because I never heard that saying before. Complete the proverbs. Me come here to drink milk. Me come here to drink milk. So complete that proverb. Arlene said yes, anyway she take her breadfruit.
Yes, man.
Okay, Aworth is finally
Non-German breadfruit,
caught
really
up.
nice, man.
Good,
Tell
thanks. Good. Thanks for refreshing Aworth.
All right.
Yes, so it's caught up now. All right, so complete the program. Come here for okay, and I see the answer that I am looking for. Me not come here for count cow.
No, sir.
Me come here for drink milk. Me not come here for count cow, and that is for 400 points. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Oops, that run from me. Ricardo, what is me not come for count cow? So that is for 400 points, Ricardo.
Okay.
Then Empress.
Ricardo gonna 3,000 already.
And Tiffany, sorry, 1 sec. Then Hayworth. Okay, Empress fix up that. Sniper, Ricardo, Verona, sorry. All right, and that's how the answers came in, excuse me.
Okay, so the score as it is, Truck Life on 200 points and Ricky Ricardo 3,000 points. Wow.
Okay, Aworth is saying that he came in first. Aworth, everybody who typed the answer is gonna see their answer first. What you have to do is refresh the chat. Just click on the X at the top and then go back in the chat, and then you will see the real order in which the answers came.
Yeah.
So once you type, you're gonna see yourself first, but refresh and then you will see the order in which the really came in. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category. The man is the Ricardo that answer the look right, you know, but we know exactly what is happening, the typo and the hurrying. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? All right, Ricardo, we are waiting. Looking. All right, so this one's gone. The chocolate went for coffee, not the coal. Instead, appeared for 200. You can find Blenheim in this parish, which is the birthplace of Alexander Bustamante. You can find Blenheim in this parish, which is the birthplace of Alexander Bustamante. And that's for 200 points. I'm sure every parish then can think of. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Let me make sure. Okay. I see the answer, and it is what is Hanover. So Blenheim is in the parish of Hanover, and that's the birthplace of Sir Alexander Bustamante, and that's for 200 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct points, because everybody might throw the parishes, them I hope one will stick. All right, Peter. So first on the board with the correct response is Peter.
All right.
And that is for 200 points.
Now the board looking good.
So Peter is on the board next.
How much points?
200.
All right.
And then
so now we're in
Ricardo,
the business.
Ricardo. Then Wayne also came in with Hanover. No, I made sure I look it up. Empress. Mr. Google said it's Hanover.
All right. So the score as it is, the competition now starts. Peter on 200 points. Truck Life 200 points. Ricky Ricardo 3,000 points. Running away with fire.
Peter, them want pull your docket so them stay over here. Them want pull your file, see who you are. Okay, so Peter, choose the next category and for how many points?
All right. Peter come in with that one.
So now everybody.
So now I pull them on docket.
Everybody antenna gone up now. Peter said tell them to look. National heroes for 500.
All right.
All right, national heroes for 500. Paul Bogle was born in this year. So just the year and Paul Bogle was born. So Paul Bogle was born in this year. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and I am not going to delay. So, what is 1822? So, Paul Bogle was born in the year 1822. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress. So Empress is on the board with 500 points.
All right.
So Empress.
Come in, Empress.
On the board.
Board look good now.
Then let me see if anybody. Then,
500 points.
Yeah. Then Peter also got 1822. Also Baga.
Right.
Yeah, Baga. Okay, they put the what is Baga. Me almost asked where was what is, but I look again.
So the score as it is, Peter on 200 points, Struck Life 200 points, Empress 500 points, gracing the stage, and Ricardo maintaining the lead, 3,000 points. Catching back for
Peter says, so them now ask who name Empress. Peter, Empress is there from day one. Empress is one of the pillars of mystic sensation.
Tiffany say, Byron, why you fight Ricky? Me not fight Ricky. Me and Ricky are brethren, you know. Tiffany not coming between me and Ricky fight.
All right, so Empress is completing heroes. The Right Excellent Nanny of the Maroons given the order of National Hero in this year. So which year was Nanny of the Maroons given the order of National Hero or Hero? So the Right Excellent Nanny of the Maroons was given the order of National Hero in this year. All right. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is 1975. She was given the Order of National Hero in 1975. So let's see, I'll see a lot of 1975 being thrown out there. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. All right, Baga. What is 1975? You don't know who is Baga? Do you know who is Baga, Byron?
Empress.
Baga, cheese Oreo.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Ricardo, seriously.
Again.
Ricardo is Baga.
Okay. Much Baga get?
400. Hold on, let me go back up. Hold on. Here, I think the last one was 400. Yeah, 400.
400?
Yeah. So Baga, then Peter, Empress. Oh, Ricardo was just off by 1 year. Sharon also got that. Sniper.
All right.
The funny thing, me I try this, but now work a back foot. Baga say, Byron, don't mess with my points now.
No, me give you your points, Baga.
Funny say, back at the class, me not have no subject. Oh my goodness, you see yourself so bad, Tiffany. You've made the board many times before. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points?
All right. So the score as it is, Peter on 200 points, Struck Life 200 points, Empress 500 points, Baga 3,400 points.
Struck Life said Baga have a Baga name and it's confusing Mr. Scorekeeper.
Yeah, let me tell you, Struck Life, it's a serious thing. It's a Baga name, man.
All right, he's saying these dates for 500, him going big.
What?
In 1838, the Emancipation Declaration was read in this town in Jamaica. Name the town. In 1838, the Emancipation Declaration was read in this town in Jamaica. Oh, 500, the last one. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. So, what is Spanish Town? So, it was first read on the steps of the courthouse in Spanish Town. Can't quite remember the name of the courthouse right now, but it was when Spanish Town was the capital. All right, and that's for 500 points. All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. Now they just throw the tone them out with one stick. All right, so Baga, what is Spanish Town? And that is for 500 points.
So Baga get that?
Mm-hmm. Baga tonight, may I tell you?
Baga on fire. So the score as it is, Peter on 200 points, Struck Life 200 points, Empress 500 points, and Baga 3,900 points.
So Empress came in with Spanish Town, Tiffany, Peter.
Look when I'm on the score and some big numbers up there. Whoa, so much I'm going with tonight.
The Old King's House. Okay, all right, I'm being corrected. It's on the steps of the Old King's House. Yeah. So Ricardo is correcting that, and Peter. Okay, so it was on the steps of the Old King's House. Thank you, guys. All right, so Ricardo is saying these dates for 400. So they know their history.
Mm-hmm.
In 1914, Marcus Garvey started this movement, and that's double your score. So you get your 400 points plus the overall score is going to be doubled if you answer this correctly.
Well, if we can get
1914, Marcus Garvey started this movement. All right, everybody, I run out. Tiffany said, where's more facts? All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. May I tell us that I'm British, but not one here. And what is the Universal Negro Improvement Association, otherwise called the UNIA? And that is for 400 points, then double your score. So let's see who is the person to get the answer first, because everybody run out. Nope. 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 All right. Empress, you missed one word in there. So baga.
Whoa.
Like him beat him score, him
Yeah, man.
top score.
Baga is going to leave a score here
400.
difficult to touch.
He beat him on record.
So
400.
400 up to this, and then double.
And then double the overall.
Whoa, jeez.
Yep. And beat him and beat him on record.
Whoa.
All right, so
the score as it is, Peter on 200 points, Short Life on 200 points, Empress 500 points, and Ricky Ricardo 8,600 points. Wow.
yeah, Empress just missed it, but she never put the Negro in there. All right, so let me just go through. So baga, then Empress, she put it for short. Then Sniper, okay, put the full. Then Verona, 8 words, but he didn't put what is. Baga distressed me. Peter said, what a spelling. Empress said, Barrett, stop it. Man, tell us I'm going back tonight, Tiffany. Empress said, just give him 10,000 points. Same done for the rest of the night. Always say you always do that, and then you just run back in.
By the time you finish, I'm going to clear 10,000.
Truck Life said, congratulations, Baga, you made history. You're a legend over here. All right, so Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Let me see if he chose already. Empress, not a legend. All right. So Ricardo, choose the next category and for how many points? Jesus, share roll out the parchment paper and the candles. I know I want a padlock. Yeah, not easy at all. All right, so choose the next category. Wait there. Come on. All right, so this one gone. All right, these dates for 300. So let's see. This was returned to the people of Jamaica in 1998. Let me see if I'm not paying attention. This was returned to the people of Jamaica in 1998. I can't get a bit.
You know who this will do it was, man. Meet a bit.
Let me call them now. Wait, just let me go up there. So this was returned to the people of Jamaica in 1998. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. All right, for 300 points. Let's see. Oops, sorry, I did not even reveal the answer. And it is, what is Emancipation Day celebration? So remember, I asked it before in a different way, and you gave me the year. Now I give you the year. You need to give me what it was or what it is. So Emancipation Day celebration, and that is for 300 points. That's why I said, let me see if you all are paying attention. All right. Press it, stop, change account and come at bedtime. So bagger. So Ricardo, for 300 points.
300 points?
Yeah. Then Truck Life, Tiffany, President Stock is 30. I would say Tiffany, I am in Florida. All right, so you got a little piece of that information regarding Peter. So I'm giving a little, him opening up him docket just a bit, and just barely crack it.
Just a bit.
Barely crack it. You're not making us to the leaf them yet. Delco, welcome. David,
all right, going on the place.
Delco sent me here, say such man I behave bad over here.
Delco.
I want to keep.
But a man near 10,000 pints, master.
He sent Jamaican Affairs for 500. All right. This popular meat product is popularly known as ghetto steak. Everybody run out on the 1 year for them to get it to me take on a Jamaican card.
You know what people them back when they go to the shop?
So this Jamaican meat product is popularly known as ghetto steak. So which Jamaican meat product called ghetto steak? I call ghetto forward. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for.
You want me to tell you something?
What is chicken back? All right, so that's a poor people's steak.
What do you mean?
And that is for 500. And right, so let me hear say you can't hardly afford it because it's run gone. The price tag run gone. It's for 500 points.
When you put all of the chicken back there, some soup and some full food with that.
I tell you.
Mad. Drop that in your pumpkin soup.
All right. Triple as Ricardo, go on a farm and go get some pork. All right, so Delco. So David is on the board.
All right.
What is chicken knock? Then Tiffany.
What is chicken knock?
Chicken knock.
How much? What's the points?
500. Then Truck Life, Peter, Verona, Sharon. What is chicken frame? As Michibu taught me that they call it in Australia, they call it chicken frame. Chicken. The funny said, and a chicken neck they'll come in, so no matter talk about error. Oh my goodness. So David, choose the next category and for how many points?
All right, the score as it is: Peter on 200 points, Truck Life 200 points, Empress 500 points, David 500 points, Ricardo 8,900 points. Please, Ricky, please.
All right, did David choose the next category, David, and for how many points? All right, these dates for 200. On May 23 or May 23rd, 1832, this tragic event occurred. On May 23rd, 1832, this tragic event occurred. That's 102 dates. So on May 23rd, 1832, this tragic event occurred.
Joseph, listen, big up Joseph.
Welcome, Joseph.
Bless him, Joseph.
Okay. Look on the date, people. It's what about Hurricane Ivan. I see the answer that I am looking for. Tiffany laughing. Tiffany's in your household. People are talking about Hurricane Ivan. All right, so that, let me just reveal the answer. It is, what is Sam Sharp was hung. So they put him to the gallows, and that is for 200 points.
They put him to the gallows.
They'll come out, what is Labor Day? All right, let's see who first came in with the correct response and for how many points. Okay, Peter. So Peter got that one, and that's for 200 points.
Peter?
200 points.
All right, give it to them, Peter.
And then Empress, Hayworth, Ricardo.
Okay, so the score as it is, Truck Life on 200 points, Peter 400 points, Empress 500 points, David 500 points, Ricardo 8,900 points.
You were supposed to be my lucky shot, you never know. Oh my goodness. Well, Peter, like, you can give me a credit like how you are in Florida and don't use credit. All right, so choose the next category and for how many points, Peter? Okay, do you remember for 300? Do you remember Maroon Village in St. Elizabeth? What is it called? The Maroon Village in St. Elizabeth, what is it called? Chocolate said, boy, I'm in 5th place. Chocolate said, this don't look good. Oh my goodness. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, what is a compound? So a compound is the Maroon Village that is located in St. Elizabeth. And that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Oops. All right, it started there. So Truck Life.
Truck Life, 300 points.
It's a compound. Then David, but the spelling is off, but I know what he's put in there. Empress, Peter, Sharon, Delco, Hayworth. Yep.
Okay.
What's happened there?
And so there it is, the score as it is, Peter on 400 points, Truck Life, Empress and David 500 points, and Ricardo 8,900 points.
Oh, there.
Oh,
okay. All right, so Truck Life is saying, remember for 100. The name given to the communicative instrument used by the Maroons. The name given to the communicative instrument used by the Maroons. Sniper said, boy, I may try no. Me not try. I'm gonna give the young the young youth them a chance, no man.
Why, Sniper?
I'm hungry or rough.
I'm hungry or rough.
Okay. But them angle. The little boy said, why you angle me so strong? You're strong, Sniper. Why the angle Sniper so strong? Carlos, welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you so much
Big
for
up yourself,
joining.
Carlos.
All right. So, let me see if there's anyone else I'm missing. Okay. So I see the answer that I am looking for. And it is, what is the abeng?
Abeng.
And that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response, because I will heap of abeng me see a throat there. All right, it started there. Ricardo, 100 points.
100 points.
Then Delco, Empress, Sniper, Tiffany, Peter, Sharon, Danny, Empress, oh my goodness.
Sniper said, boy, like big bad wolf them come out.
Then Verona. Charlie, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday, Charlie. You're always
Charlie, what go on?
It's a with the Rasta saga this. Then A-word. How are you, Charlie? Let me say, look like the big bad wolf them come out, so me and the little puppy I go sleep. All right, so choose the next category and for how many points. Let me just make sure I didn't miss the choice. Ricardo, you're not done because you're trying if you score unbeatable. All right, so I think it's Baron, just the other day, Empress was at the Maroon celebration. Ricardo, do you remember 500? Oh, you're so? Well, good to see you. So let's chat. All right, so he's saying, do you remember for 500? Hold on, let me just review that. Okay. Name given to the system that brought Africans to the Americas. And remember, we're part of the Americas, so includes the Caribbean. So name given to the system that brought Africans to the Americas, and that's for 500 points. That's a good answer, Daniel. Your answer was much better than mine. No answer. Okay, Carlos, then bless up. Happy to be here, family.
Yeah, bless up,
Carlos. All right. All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. All right, let's see who first came in with the correct response. Oh, I didn't even reveal it. Let me reveal it. And it is, what is the Atlantic or transatlantic slave trade? Right, so let's see who first came in with that response, and that is for 500 points. So let's see. Slave ship. No, not triangular. All right, Empress.
All right.
Transatlantic slave trade, and that is for 500. Then Delco. Sniper says, and it's Sniper for 500. Charlie saying, just passing through by. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bless yourself, Charlie.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Bless up, Charlie. Thank you so much
for all right. So
passing through.
The score as it is, Peter on 400 points, David 500 points, Chuck Life 500 points, Empress 1,000 points, and Ricky Ricardo 9,000 points.
Okay, so Empress is completing dates. So let's see. 1833 marks the significant event in slave history. 1833 marks this significant event in slave history. All right, so what event was so significant? All right, and I see the answer that I am looking for. No delays. What is the abolition of slavery or the Slavery Abolition Act 1833? All right, and I see a lot of correct answers coming out. But abolition of slavery meant freedom. So you guys will have to tell me if you're giving it to Tiffany. She says, what is freedom? And then Empress says, what is abolition? What is slavery abolition? Then Hayworth abolition. David also came in with abolition of slavery. What is Slavery Abolition Act? Yeah, because it's basically freedom, but she didn't put it in that sense. She just put what is freedom. All right, Empress is saying give it to Tiffany.
Okay.
Because she would have been next in line to get it.
As it's related to
the points. So that is 100 points.
For Tiffany?
For Tiffany. So she is on the board. David 6 bars, Tiffany.
Okay, so the score as it is Tiffany on 100 points, Peter 400 points, David and Chuck Life on 500 points, and Ricardo 9,000 points.
Okay, so choose the next category and for how many points, Tiffany? Example, say watch Empress across Keko to them. Jesus. That's easy, you know. Ricardo said, truck life, me get the jerk chicken. So what happened to the rest of us, Ricardo? Where's our jerk chicken? We're there talking all night and not feeding the rest of us.
Just email my one, man. Email my one or text me.
Me want to drop my one in the chat.
Okay.
But it's a remember for 400. Rum, sugar, and this item was produced and shipped to Britain from Jamaica. So rum, sugar, and this item was produced and shipped to Britain from Jamaica. And that's for 400 points. What's the other item? All right, I was about to give a clue, but I see the answer coming in, and I won't delay. What is molasses? So molasses. So rum, sugar, and molasses is what was shipped to Britain from Jamaica during those times, and it's for 400 points. Well, all right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. So Peter.
All right.
And that's for 400 points.
Peter making it more dear.
I tell you, then David, Empress, Hayworth.
So.
Oh my goodness. You did have some Lasco where you get.
All right. So the score as it is David and Chuck Life 500 points, Peter 800 points, Empress 1,000 points, and Ricky Ricardo 9,000 points. But you like Ricky just leave it at 9,000 and say, all right, the year so may I catch it. Okay.
All right. All right, Peter, so choose the next category, and for how many points? We only have 2 categories left. Thank you so much, Carlos. I said I really like this channel. It's very informative and educational. Thank you so much.
Blessings, Carlos.
For the endorsement. And Peter is saying affairs for 100. A common dish for special occasions such as weddings or 9-night ceremonies is mannish water. This is the main ingredient. Soup made from coconut, goat's head, and alcoholic beverage. Choose the correct answer.
All right.
Jump into that way and go with multiple choice. Oh my goodness. I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is B. What is goat's head?
All right.
So if you're having a wedding, or if you're having a 9-night ceremony and you don't have manish water,
not a problem that.
all right. And that is for 100 points. Jamfet in Jamaica, Tiffany. Jamfet has soak up some sun. Jamfet out of France for right now.
Yeah, man, Jamfet their yard.
JA. All right, I see. Let me just refresh. David. And that was for 100 points.
For David?
For David. Then Truck Life.
Okay.
Tiffany, Peter, Empress, Sharon, Hayworth, Tiffany, Tiffany put exclamation sign.
All right. So the score as it is,
Empress.
Truck Life on 500 points, David 600 points, Peter 800 points, Empress 1,000 points, and Ricardo 9,000 points. With one to spare. All right.
Empress about impose up band of a KFC. Man, tell me that I eat some of our KFC. I know the best KFC you can ever find, Jamaican KFC. And you never find a picture with me and Kai. No, the for some reason I don't know what happened to the what you say no. One section of my what was it on again? IG. So I'll have to look on it again because some of what she posted, some of them like blank out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I'll look again. All right. So we have just one category left. So I am just going to read that. The people who came before us. The people who came before us, I mean the overall name that you give the people who were before us, not a specific set of people. The overall name you would call the people who were before us. No, not the specific names. Okay. All right, and I see the answer that I'm looking for. All right, so see the answer. So what are his ancestors? I said the overall name, not specific set of people, the overall name. Our ancestors are the people who came before us and paved the way for us.
Who is the lucky one?
All right, so that is for 200 points.
Cleaning the board.
All right, so let's see who first came in with the correct response. All right, so David, what is ancestors? Yeah. Okay. Then Tiffany Hayworth. Okay, David, you put it again. Empress, not Tiffany, not easy. Then Empress. No, it was there. I saw who did I say got it again? I saw David's answer before, just under the second tie, you know. All right, so while the scorekeeper is tallying, congratulations to everyone who made the board, and thank you to everyone who participated to make the game the fun that it was. And everybody keep them Jamaican card tonight. Nobody no lose them Jamaican card. Right? So that was some history for you all. So again, congratulations. And Sharon is saying congratulations to everyone. Yes. And thank you all again for participating. David said Tiffany behave yourself. Oh my goodness. Right, while you're telling that, let me just quickly run to the show.
Okay.
1 second, please. Excuse me a bit.
Okay, so the score as it is, Chuck Life, 5th place on the board, 500 points. David, 800 points. David and Peter both tied for 800 points. Empress in 2nd place, 1,000 points. And Ricky Ricardo, big man for the night, 9,000 points. All right, so as soon as wifey return, I think might be we're gonna have to get number from Peter. So Peter, as soon as wifey return, just give her the number where we can send that credit to, right? And Empress, where do you want your credit to send to? So we just have a notification there. Boy, Ricky, boy, you have a big number here tonight. Boy, you set the trend, 9,000 points. Wonderful performance, yeah. But I mean, congratulations to all. Everyone performed, quite well. The board is not easy to make, to be honest. So when you make the board, it is well done. Well, we see Peter, right, coming and grace the board, right, and different things. So we know that Peter is a very tough candidate as well for the first time and yet being on the board, right? So big up yourself, Peter. Love that.
All right. So, Tiffany, and she ever sexy. Thank you, Tiffany. All right. So, Empress, can you drop my IG information in the chat, please, for Peter, so he can just send over his number by IG, so we can send the credit. So yeah, Peter, so you're gonna send me the number that you want the credit sent to on IG, and also the provider. I think you said already Digicel.
All right.
So, David said that he's giving his winnings to Tiffany.
Tiffany? Okay, so David for Tiffany, right?
Yeah.
For Tiffany.
All right, thank you, David. And that's how we do it over here, guys. From time to time, people share their credits with others. Truck Life said, Miss Anne, love the green. It goes with your chair.
Yes. Well, I mean,
my Jamaican shirt, so Jamaica mark on it going around to the back.
Yes.
Okay. Send you message me with the number. Put my IG information in the chat, Empress, please. Okay, there it is. So _mystic to Peter. And you send me the information there regarding your number. And Peter was saying something up the top. Let me just go back up. Luckily I have a gym. Okay. Missed it. Chat runs so fast sometimes.
Right.
I just happened on your channel tonight. Okay, welcome.
Okay,
welcome.
thanks.
Welcome. The Mystic family. So we are here every Friday at 6:30 p.m. at Mountain Time we're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be what, 7:30 Jamaican time?
He's in Florida. I think
Oh,
it's
he's in
a
Florida.
4 hour difference,
Oh,
so
okay.
it would be about 8:30. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome, Peter. And again, thank you to everyone who is here tonight. Really appreciate each and everyone continued support. We know I keep saying it, but you might say I keep beating it, but I'm gonna keep saying it. You could have been elsewhere tonight and you chose to be with us because it's a Friday night and we do not take it for granted. Oh, it says 1 hour ahead, so 7:30.
Yes. And remember, all the subscribers to make sure that we sign the petition for ISAT.
Yes, it's
right.
pinned.
So really appreciate it. All right.
Even it's a good game sniper get 100 points. Mr. David is saying, welcome to the club, Peter, and feel free to come again anytime. Everyone is welcome. So feel free. And thank you to all the new subscribers. Really appreciate each and everyone who's coming on board. And remember, guys, to share out the live so others can see and be informed, so that when time comes, we can make an informed decision for voting. Exactly. And you can weigh, the information and and make yourself informed. Okay, I'll be checking you out. Thank you so much, Peter. Really appreciate it.
Blessings, Peter.
Good. Okay, so Chuck Life is saying Mystic Sensation, enough love and appreciation.
Bless up, Chuck Life.
Love and appreciation to you as
well. All right.
Really appreciate your continued support. Really appreciate that. Message you with the okay, I think she may have put it on WhatsApp. Okay, let me just make sure. Where's that paper? Make sure everybody recorded the usual. Yes. David is going to Chuck Life is the usual, and Peter will message me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Just say okay, Truck Life and Tiffany. Okay, guys, I am not going to tarry too long because I have work in the morning. So, and Baron also have work, and I am doing laundry again still, guys. I've been working since last week, Tuesday, so it's 11 days straight. So I have to get what I can do in between, what I can get done. Carla said this will be my new classroom from now on.
All right, thank you.
Carla, thank you so much.
And you will not regret it, Carlos. I tell you that.
We'll learn a lot over here. All right, guys. So I am going to say have a blessed and wonderful rest of the weekend, and also have a wonderful and productive week. And while you guys are out there during the Independence celebration, please stay safe, be your brother's keeper, look out for each other, right? And also, when I actually work. Okay, they're conversating. And also, again, thank you so much. Really appreciate each and everyone. And see you next Friday. Same place, same time. And safe travel on the gravel. Until next time, love you all. Really appreciate each and everyone. Bye.